So this is, obviously a huge step in a lot of ways. Going to a major label, Hollywood Records, owned by Disney. Hollywood Records, when I think of Hollywood Records, here's what I think of. I think about Into Another, one of my favorite bands of all time,
Yeah.
who was on Revelation and had every major label in the world looking at them. And then got signed, finally picked one and went there and made a pretty cool album and disappeared.
Yeah.
And it was still in that era where it was like, signing to a major label is either you're going to become the biggest band ever,
Kiss of death,
or it's a death sentence. Yeah. And Atreyu being one of the rare examples, and I think the more modern examples of a band that like survives it and continues longevity. But yeah, before we dig into the music, let's talk just a little bit about that decision of going to a major and other bands that you knew, and obviously you're seeing around that time, Avenged and 18 and bands that also taking that step. And it was an exciting moment in the scene, but it's also scary, and because the horror stories and whatever. And I also think about Hollywood being the label that dropped Insane Clown Posse and Danzig.
Yeah.
Immediately after putting out their records, because somebody went, wait, that's on our label.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, someone at Disney's like flipping through a portfolio of companies, and it's like, whoa.
No.
So there, there's also those. Not to say Hollywood isn't a great. I mean, they have the Queen catalog. It's and something people don't necessarily understand about major labels is it's really about your A&R team, your staff, whatever the regime is when you're there.
That's
it's
everything.
not like Victory Records where it's like it's one guy and his personality dictating how everything goes. So with the longest question in the world, reflect on that time for me, if you will.
For us, again, it was about leveling up again. We had kind of like completed our tenure with Victory and was like, okay, let's see who's interested. In Hollywood was, we've always kind of gone where you could feel like the legitimate love for the band. We're pretty good at like sniffing out bullshit. My alarm keeps going off. I don't know if you can hear on here, but I'm sorry.
It's probably mine went off a few minutes ago. It's probably telling us that we're supposed to be talking right now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But like we're pretty good at sniffing out bullshit. Like whether it's managers or labels or agents, it's like, okay, I can tell if you're interested, and I can tell if you're just like, yeah, I'll take another band, I'll take another client. I think I can make some money off of you. And this dude, Jeffrey Weiss was our A&R, and this dude, Lincoln Wheeler, was our marketing dude. And they were coming to our shows like back in the day. Like they were coming to our shows like, I want to say towards the end of the Cursed headline stuff. Like they were coming to the studio for Death Grip. Like it wasn't like, let's go to dinner, guys. It was like, I want to come watch your band. Like I didn't even tell you I came to the show, but we came because we're like stalking you. Like we're
more than casual interest.
Yes, like they loved the band and I think had a vision for the band. They just were like, we want to sign you because we want you to be bigger. You know what I mean? And we liked that a lot, and we ended up signing to Hollywood, and it was awesome because it was very, from the beginning, it was like, hey, like, which is funny because most people wouldn't think this, where it was like, you're not gonna, every contract we've ever signed is like there's zero creative control from the record label at all. Like you're not going to tell us what to write. You're not going to tell us how we need to do things. We're going to give you an album and you're going to sell it. That's what it is. And even like our A&R guy had never even tried to A&R anything. He tried one time and we shut him down so fast that he never tried again, which is a funny story I'll get to. But it was just about leveling up again. And we wanted to do the same thing we had always done. It was like, okay, what's the next biggest thing? Like we've consistently taken big steps up. It's like, well, what's next? Like now radio knows who we are and we're playing all these radio shows. And to us, it was like, all of a sudden we're playing with like Korn and Chappelle and, these like radio rock bands and Linkin Park. And like, we're doing like radio shows in like amphitheaters to 25,000 people. Mm-hmm. And we're like, yeah, we want to do more of that.
Yeah.
So, and then we also see bands like Avenged that are like friends that they're like starting to level up too. And
I remember I don't remember what year it was, but it had to have been around this period somewhere. I remember seeing you guys at Weenie Roast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's that feeling where it's like, I know those guys.
exactly. Like
We're all coming up,
like gnarly, but same thing. So we went to the studio, like, how do we level up? Let's go fucking big. And you know, John is really, really great. His one of his biggest assets, and I don't even know if he fully realizes this, is he, more than anyone else we've ever worked with, is the best at getting us to take any sort of fence down that has any sort of doubt in what we're doing, and just like do what you're doing right now, and don't worry about anything other than the fact of is this great, and do I love it? That's it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, is this too soft? Is this too hard? Does this make sense? It's like, just write the songs. Are they great? Do you love them? Period. And so like, that's where that kind of started. And even a lot of most of Lead Sales was written beforehand. You know what I mean? And it was again, like, structural things that John helped with. And John really helped us for the first time, like, teach us how to write fucking songs. You know what I mean? When you're a hardcore kid, like, there is a hardcore brain, like a youthful hardcore kid brain of writing songs, where it's like, yeah, this song has 9 parts.
Yeah.
And the chorus happens once at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and it's riff and kick drum. And then, hey, vocalists, do what you can with this.
Yeah, just like scream over some stuff. Yeah, it's like, we were like, let's make big fucking songs. And he was really good at helping us craft that. Like, there's little stuff I was telling us the other day about how, like, the opening track of Lead Sales, Doomsday was, I came in with that riff of the bridge, and it was like a Queens of the Stone Age thing. That was the intro of the song, and then it went into like the chug part. That's the verse. And John's like, you don't have to change parts, right? Like, you can just use that verse part in the intro. It's fucking heavy. It's awesome. And like, maybe we use this as the bridge, but like, you don't have to have a part before the song starts, right? I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, it's the intro. It's like, yeah, like, the verse can be the intro. And then you just start singing later. It was just like, oh, what? Songwriting.
Yeah.
So he was huge in just helping us get that together. And we ventured into territories that we never even expected. Like, we talked about this, we're in the studio right now, and we talked about, some of Atreyu's biggest songs are the hardest left, like, songs we have, and there's one of them. You know what I mean? Like, Falling Down. There's one Falling Down. Atreyu doesn't have a bunch of those songs.
Right.
There's one Blow. You know what I mean? Like, there's one The Theft. Like, it's like the times where we just venture and do something end up being these massive moments. Arguably, there's one Becoming the Bull. We don't have 8 songs that sound like Becoming the Bull.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where, he really, like, made us comfortable with venturing into stuff, and just like crafted that record so perfectly. And then Andy Wallace mixing that record on Unstoppable Force.
It's another, like, and that's, Andy Wallace has got to be one of the, like, okay, we're going to take advantage of being on a major label.
Oh yeah.
Andy Wallace.
Money.
Yeah.
But it was the first time where we had a big recording budget where it was like, wait, we can actually, like, put some money in our pocket and go to John and go to Andy. It's like, sick. And then, like, even like, you think about, like, those magic moments of being in a band, like, this is the most, like, rock star shit ever. Everyone in the band had, like, stuff, like, I think Alex and Dan went to Thailand, Porter went to, like, Scotland or some shit. Everyone on, like, vacation, and I flew to New York to mix the record with Andy Wallace. So it was like, I had, like, my own hotel room. I knew, like, my route, my trains that I took to the studio every day, and, like, where I would get my coffee at my local bodega. I, like, flew my wife out twice on the weekends, 2 weeks in a row, to, like, let's do New York on the weekend, babe. You know what I mean? Like, just, like, living.
Yeah. That's amazing.
But, like, it was fucking awesome. It was a cool experience to do that. And, like,
and it is, like, literally living on that dream of, like,
okay, thank you. What's that?
Like, and it is living that dream of, like, oh, I can't believe I get to do this.
Oh yeah, I cannot believe I'm doing this. Yeah. But yeah, really, that record is perfect to me. Like, I don't hear anything on that record where I'm like, nah, this was not right. Yeah,
nothing uncomfortable. And also, we should talk, by the way, about, because this is pretty innovative for the time. We should talk about the game. There was
that was all Hollywood's idea.
Wow. That's a good idea from Hollywood Records.
Yeah, it was there was 2 different things. There was, like, the thing where you had to there was like the song was chopped into a bunch of pieces.
Like the jigsaw puzzle thing.
And you had to do the jigsaw puzzle, and then you could hear the song. And then they also made like a video game. Like there was like we each had our own level that was modeled after like an old school video game. But yeah, they were super smart about all the marketing. They were great. And that was also the first time too that it was like, oh, we're doing a photo shoot and there's a wardrobe budget.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It was like they had to send in our sizes and like what we liked, and they brought like tons of clothes. And it was like, wait, what is this? Like, there's wardrobe?
Yeah.
I remember doing the photo shoot, and I had a leather jacket that I wore in a lot of those photos. And I was talking to our like one of our marketing chicks, and I'm like, our press girl, I'm like, hey, I'm keeping this jacket. And she's like, I'm gonna have to ask. That's a $900 jacket. I was like, yeah, I'm keeping the jacket. And then like throughout the day, I was like, hey, so did you make that call with the jacket? She's like, oh, I haven't heard. I'm like, cool. I'm just letting you know I'm leaving with the jacket.
Try and peel this off of me.
I left with the jacket. I left with the fucking jacket.